I see a country that's really been gravely damaged, if not destroyed, by narcotics, which are being imported by Latin American drug cartels. If you're looking for an enemy,
there it is, right
with
there.
a death count, that seems like the one.
Oh, may I tell you a story?
I hope you will.
When I was the senior investigator on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, 2009 to 2011, end of 2011, I told the then chairman, John Kerry, I wanted to go to Afghanistan to do a formal Senate study on the heroin poppy crop, right? Afghanistan at the time was producing 93% of the world's heroin. When we got to Lashkar Gah, as you're landing, for as far as the eye could see, all you see is heroin poppy. And so I said, I want to go into the poppy fields and I want to find a farmer and I want to talk to him. I said, instead of poppy, why don't you grow things that have 2 growing seasons, like tomatoes or onions or pomegranates? Right. The Americans told me in 2001 that if I told them where the Arabs were, I could grow all the poppy I wanted. So he calls me back a couple days later and he says, buddy, you know you're not going to get this paper published, right? I said, why not? He said, Afghanistan produces 93% of the world's heroin. Almost all of that heroin goes to Iran and Russia, and we want them to be addicted to heroin. It weakens their societies. And I never got it published. We've got a fentanyl epidemic in this country. They want us to be addicted to fentanyl because it weakens our society.
So you believe that the U.S. government allowed poppy production in Afghanistan in order to weaken Iran and Russia?
I do. And the reason I have come to that conclusion is not because I'm any smarter than anybody else, but do you know how much of the world's heroin was produced in Afghanistan in the last year of Taliban rule, 2000?
Not too much.
0. None. They didn't grow any, not only did they not grow any heroin poppy in 2000, they were a net food exporter to Iran and to Pakistan. And as soon as we took over, it was all about the heroin.
So the idea that it's, that's quite amazing. That is a quite amazing statistic.
Terrible.
Does anyone in a meeting where these plans are formulated say, we're the United States, like we can't flood other people's countries with heroin. That's just so immoral.
I never sat in a meeting like that. The meetings were all about how do we win?